Hi guys, today I'm going to share a few propagation projects I've been working on. As you probably know, there is different ways you can propagate succulents. One of the most common ones is by using a leaf, and that's usually pretty slow process. Then another way is beheading the plant or taking the cutting, which is usually the fastest way. Then you can also propagate from the leftover stem or from the piece of the stem. You can keep the plant above the water or the cutting above the water instead of placing it in the soil. My favorite method is beheading because I'm a little bit impatient as a person and I like everything to do quickly and efficiently. So beheading usually gives the results the fastest. But I also get really excited when I have only stem left and then I see progress from that. So let me show you my propagation project. Okay, so these guys here, I think they're Graptosedum variehiggins or some other Graptosedum. They're all produced from leaves, so it's been months that I have them. These are propagated earlier and these are later propagated, so as you can see they're now losing leaves and they all really require now watering regularly, actually more often than the well-established bigger succulents, but they look pretty good. In this pot I have few Graptovaria Marquise de Sévigné's. These are the leaves that I took from my Graptovaria and they rooted and are developing the rosettes. Looks pretty good. Then there is few, I think, ghost plants here, and there is two little Echeverias Lolas. A long story about this plant. I had one Echeveria Lola, and at the end of the summer when I was spraying all of my succulents against mealybugs, Echeveria Lola actually didn't have any pests, and I preventatively sprayed it and I left it on the light and it burned completely the top of the Echeveria, so it looked terrible. I ended up taking some leaves and saving them and finally propagating them. I wish I saved the stem because I think it would be faster to get the plant. So hopefully these guys will survive. They're cute. This one, I don't know exactly what kind of Echeveria it is. I think I got this leaf when I was buying a plant and it was just dropped in a pot or something. So I'm not quite sure how it's gonna look like when it's bigger. Then in this big messy tray I have all kinds of different leaves. I always admire when people like neatly put the leaves, almost make a design from the leaves when they're propagating. Mine trays are not that great looking. I just make them as practical as they can be and try to fit as many I can. I think this is a Graptovaria Blue Pearl. I took few leaves because I actually beheaded all of the stems of the plant. Then there is more Graptovaria Marquise de Sévigné. Here is an example how you can use a piece of the stem. Because stem was really long, and when I beheaded the plant, there was this middle part of the stem that I didn't want to leave. So I left few leaves on it and it rooted now, as you can see, and it's growing plant on the top. So that's another way you can propagate. Then I think that there is few ghost plants as well here. This is another Graptovaria Blue Pearl. This is also stem from Blue Pearl that I recently put in there. These are some of those dying succulents that I got from Lowe's that I'm trying to root, and I think that they both now rooted, a little dehydrated. There is few more leaves of Echeveria Lola that are kind of trying to root. And these are all of my Graptovaria Blue Pearl. I beheaded them all because they had long stems, had a lot of roots growing out of stems, just didn't look very pretty. So hopefully these gonna grow well. This plant has been so severely affected by mealybugs in the last year, 2 times, that it just stunted growth and it just wasn't looking good. I see that it started waking up, and that's when I started beheading it. They just started growing some little roots here. Here you can see one. So I think they're gonna be alright, just gonna take a little bit of time. And then I have here some of the leaves that have been that I propagated that have been separated already to individual pots because they're getting bigger. So this is Pachiveria glauca, or Pachiveria glauca, I don't know how you say it properly. And it had a one leaf that was months ago on the ground here, and it grew and it finally dried up, and I moved this plant and I'm watering it regularly now because it's getting bigger now. As you can see, that's two little kits of this mother plant. And then this guy here, I haven't identified yet. This one also had a little pup at the end of the summer, and it did rooted and it's independent, but I think it's a little bit too dry, so I need to water it. This here is one of my big, I think it's a Graptosatum or something like that. It's a really big, beautiful blue plant. I think in my intro you can see that one, so that's one of the leaves that fell off. Then these guys here, those are the dying succulents that I got from Lowe's that I was trying to save. They were leggy, and in my last video I still didn't cut them. I finally cut them, and they're now trying to root. So this one here I'm super excited about. I saved this one for like 50 cents. Pearl 1 Nürnberg Echeveria, and I beheaded it. It had a long stem, and on the top there was a small rosette. I think it was deprived from water and light. And now these rosettes that they're growing are the cutest thing to look at. I love checking on them. They actually have grown quite a bit in the last week. They're just getting bigger and bigger. So really exciting. As I said, beheading is my favorite method, but I get most excited when I leave the stem, the bottom of the stem, and then when I get growth out of it, because it's like so much fun seeing the change. This is the top of that Echeveria, and it was completely dried up and dying. It wasn't rooting in the soil, so I actually dunked it in the water. And I don't know if you can see, but it just started growing a root. It's been in the water for like 5 days, I think. I'm gonna put it back, so hopefully it roots and doesn't rot. I have never dunked the succulent stem in the water, but with this one I have, and it seems to be working. And then here I have this Selenucerius Damia testudo, or dogtail cactus. It's like a jungle. It's huge. It grows so fast. So I took few cuttings in the last month and a half, I think, and I can show you. I'm pretty sure that they have rooted. Wow, this one doesn't want to come out. They're all pretty much rooted, but I'll take out some of them and clean them up so you can see the roots here. I'm trying to find, oh here, this one, I think you can see roots. So they rooted really quickly. They're not, now I'm gonna have to clean this up. They're really easy to propagate. I pretty much just stick them in the soil, haven't even watered them for a very long time, and then I would spray them occasionally with water, and they grew. And they will probably fill this pot when the spring and summer starts. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching my propagation projects, and if you did, please subscribe. I will see you in the next video.